WQEE 99.1 FM The Key, home of Southern sports and talk. Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. Air Force General Charles Q. Brown, Jr. is set to become America's top military officer. He was confirmed as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in a Senate vote Wednesday night with bipartisan support. Brown will succeed Army General and current chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, whose term ends next month. It's the first Pentagon confirmation since a recent blockade on military promotions by Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Ukrainian President Zelensky will be in Washington, D.C. today. Brian Shook reports.
He'll meet with President Biden at the White House, lawmakers on Capitol Hill, and military leaders at the Pentagon. The visit comes as Congress is currently weighing Biden's request to approve more than $20 billion in additional aid for Ukraine in its war with Russia. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told reporters Wednesday he wants to understand Zelensky's plan for defeating Russia and to ensure U.S. resources are going to the right place. I'm Brian Shook.
An age limit for politicians is being proposed in Congress, but it's not sitting well with some older lawmakers. Trey Thomas explains.
Texas Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee is 73 years old. She would only have 2 years left under the proposal, which would cap political service at age 75.
It undermines the people's ability to run their government.
Jackson Lee says it should be up to voters to decide if someone is too old for office. I'm Trey Thomas.
And a bipartisan group of House lawmakers say they've come up with a way to avoid a government shutdown. Funding for a range of federal programs will come to an end on October the 1st unless Congress passes a funding bill. On Wednesday, a group of 64 representatives, known as the Problem Solvers Caucus, released a statement saying they endorse a stopgap funding bill that would run through January 11th. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
The Baxters have a new first book. From #1 New York Times best-selling novelist Karen Kingsbury, author of life-changing fiction, comes The Baxters, a prequel. The heart-pounding story of Carrie Baxter's wedding. Amidst family tension and the worst storm Bloomington, Indiana has seen in a decade. The Baxters, by America's favorite inspirational storyteller, Karen Kingsbury. Visit KarenKingsbury.com for more information. The Baxters. Available now wherever books are sold.
Hi, Lisa Wolf to tell you that the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show and the 30-minute Radio Rarities podcast can be emailed to you every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month, plus the games, celebrity interviews, music trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends for the journey? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. Learn more at lagrange.edu.
Want to give back to your community in a meaningful way? Cares for Kids is a Keller Williams Realty founded charity in which 100% of money raised goes directly to children in need in our area. Cares for Kids helps fund local organizations like Angel's House, Coweta Casa, Elevate, and more. Help Cares for Kids reach their mission of serving 1 million children. Call 678-634-9770 today to learn more on how to be involved, or text K4K Noonan to 44321 to donate.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively. With technical drills to build their survival skills, you can be your own hero. Classes and private seminars are available. Learn today to have a safer tomorrow. WarriorDefenders.com.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. For PSAs on the best services available to veterans, go to VA's new radio outreach page, news.va.gov/outreach/radio.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commando of a 45s Affair radio show, where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
It's the final period of play, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I still got a little Carl in my voice. But we got a great excitement for you this morning. We're going to rock out with you. We got a great guest coming up this period, so don't you dare move away from that radio dial. It is, well, like I said, 68 degrees here in the Atlanta area, and we hope that you're having a great morning. Stay tuned. Triple H, kick us off.
Just in case you've forgotten, let me tell you just to know who the hell I am.
Well, it's RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown with yours truly, Ryan O'Neal, and... That's right. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, Shout Out Loud, across that RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, we are across the Jordan Communication of family radio stations in East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here. And I like to call it the heartbeat of Atlanta because we're live all day. 99.1 FM, WQEE, best known as The Key, home of Southern sports and plenty of fantastic talk. You guys are in lockdown with us, and we got a special guest in lockdown with us coming up in a moment. So don't you dare move away from that radio dials. And as always, to my haters out there, I got this to say to you. Listen up close.
Whether anybody likes it or not, I'm the man around here.
That's right, I am the man around here, as Triple H would say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the final period of play, about 5 minutes past the hour, 68 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. You know what? We got a special guest. He knows Atlanta pretty well. He's been around this area. Brand new band and everything. Ex-member of Collective Soul. Please welcome the one, the only, Shane Evans. Good morning, Shane.
Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm waking up.
I know. Sorry to get you up so early. I know how musicians are. You guys are supposed to be. It's just now time for you to go to bed, and I'm keeping you from hitting that nice, comfortable bed right now.
Yeah. Old habits are hard to die, you know.
I know, my friend. Well, we got you here because you've got a brand new band that you put together with several other great artists and everything, kind of a super group of legends, including yourself. Let's talk a little bit about the band, the name of the band, who's in it, and who they were associated with in the past. So let's do all that now.
Okay, you want me to go through the gamut then?
Yeah, let's go through it.
Well, on guitar, I think for this show, we've got Stacy Blade. He used to play with LA Guns.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, there's a guy named Doug Green. He used to play with Scott Weiland.
Wow, yes.
And then there's Brian and Adam, and I don't know if they have any sort of claim to fame, but we're playing with them nonetheless.
There you go, man. Well, no, they got some claim to fame. You guys all do. How did this come together? I know musicians get together, play, but how did you guys find one another?
I think through social media.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say it was probably Facebook or something. Yeah.
A lot easier than going through those old newspaper ads, right?
Yeah. Facebook, social media has... it has a good purpose.
Yep.
It can be used for a lot of evil and bad stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to say that it's a pretty cool tool for reaching out to people you haven't talked to or communicated with in a while.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, guys coming together. Of course, we want to know the name of the band here. But how did, besides coming together, did you guys just click when you first got together, or was it just let's see if this is going to work out?
It's always sort of like a let's see if this is going to work out situation.
Right.
I don't really play a whole lot of shows anymore. I've kind of realized that being a drummer, you know, as you get older, it's a lot tougher on your body, you know. So
Amen.
You have to kind of, you know, as I've gotten older, my playing style's kind of morphed into an old man, I guess. But no
worries. No worries. Same here, brother.
I'm always gonna play hard, I guess, you know. But I don't see me up there playing it when I'm 70 years old. You know what I mean?
So you're not gonna do the whole Charlie Watt thing, so.
Well, Charlie, I mean, Charlie bless his heart. If I could do the Charlie Watts thing, I would. You know?
I know, man.
That's. I mean, keeping a band together that long is that's pretty unheard of, I think.
It is. It is.
The Rolling Stones have done. I mean, not only be together so long, but be so popular and so relevant for so long. That, you know, it's like, wow.
They never really changed their style, and they never really did anything different than that. And I really loved it. And I agree with you on the drummer thing, brother.
Yeah.
I mean,
just play the blues. I like how those British boys interpret the blues myself. I think they interpret the blues in a way that Americans don't. You know, I mean, it's whether you're talking about Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, or not to say that Americans don't interpret the blues great. I'm not saying that, but you know, I like the way those British boys sort of interpret the blues. They look at it differently, and it's pretty cool.
Well, you know, it makes me feel good that you said as a drummer, because I do the same thing. I've kind of retired myself from there. I played in Vegas a few years ago as well, and as I get older, I'm less likely of double bassing it anymore and more laid back with the blues based rock and roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Drumming's tough. It's, you know, I mean, it's funny because well, it's not really funny, but I think it's kind of interesting.
Right.
Because I believe Aerosmith are going on a pretty big tour.
Yes.
Here soon, or maybe they're on tour right now. But I noticed that their drummer Joey, is not touring with them, man. He's done, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, man. I mean,
being a drummer, being a drummer specifically is harder than other things you do on stage, you know. So it's you gotta have your shit together when you're drumming.
You definitely do, man. You definitely do, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. But I'm glad that you found this group you can groove with, and
absolutely,
and everything. So let's talk a little bit about the style of music it is, because I know from Collective Soul you guys were alternative. I considered you more classic rock when you guys came out in the 90s. You were the rock and roll band. I was like, hey man, dude, this is rock and roll. And I've went to a number of the shows back in the day and everything. So you guys just had a whole different rock and roll style. And even though they throwed you in there with the alternative, what is this new band about?
What, the new stuff? What's it about?
Yeah, what's new stuff about?
Well, I think it's early on. You know, whenever you're early on in the band, when you play with new people, you know, you bring in new ideas, new songs. And, you know, you have to spend a little bit of time together. We're coming from all over the country. You know, I think I think Stacy's coming from like Phoenix or LA, and Doug's coming from New York, and I think the rest of us live here in Kansas City. But yeah, I mean, it's not like we can get together and play 3 or 4 times a week.
Exactly.
We have to, if you want to get together and play, you know, it's like you have to get flights and all that kind of stuff. Actually try to organize stuff. So, you know, I mean, it just changes things. You know, it's like now it used to be just about getting together and playing and writing songs. You know? Now it's like, hey, how are you? It's about the same thing. It's just different because you're flying from all over different parts of the country. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. But sometimes the guys that you click with the most are not always in your own backyard and everything. Sometimes they're guys like, you know what I mean?
It's interesting enough. Like we all have this mutual friend named Lonnie. And He actually kind of brought the band together. Honestly, like he just knows so many people. You know, he's well connected out there in that whole LA rock scene.
Right.
So Yeah, Lonnie's a good friend of mine. I kind of rely on him for contacts. Hey, you know this guy, you know that guy. Yeah. So.
Well, Lonnie, I appreciate him. He's been a good friend to me as well, and been on the show a number of times over the years.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yes.
Lonnie's more rock and roll than I am.
I know, right?
He's a road guy,
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's a hardcore dude.
He is.
He's good at what he does, man. I like Lonnie. He's a good guy. I believe that Lonnie knew Stacy, so that's how we're playing with Stacy, basically.
Right. Well, it's cool to have that different style in there. You got LA Guns, you got Collective Soul, you got a little Scott Weiland in there, and
yeah, it's wild, man. I love playing jazz and stuff like that too.
Right.
It's always cool to play with somebody you never played with before. Just because like I said, when you play with someone new, it's like you're bringing all these lifetime experiences and influences into a mix. You know what I mean? It's like,
yep.
And that's the thing. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand. I think is how delicate a band chemistry is. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know.
And I can see that. Whenever you can always be like, hey, this guy's not working out. We gotta make a change there, and go make a change. You think, well, we could be at least as good as we were before, maybe, or better. Then you realize, oh, well, maybe not. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. It's like all the guys in Collective Soul are very talented people.
Yes.
That we all grew up in the same hometown. You know what I mean? So what are the odds of that?
I know, that's what I'm saying. And I'm glad that you're explaining this to listeners out there, because a lot of people don't get the concept behind being in a band. They think that it's just 4 or 5 guys coming together, playing instruments like they're garage band guys, and even if you make it into the music business, cover bands or whatever, it's all the same. You got to have that chemistry and friendship, and sometimes your best friend may not even fit the band.
And dude, the thing is, like, once you actually get into the game, the music business, it's like, all the hard work you've done to get to the point of just having a record and a song on the radio.
Right.
Wow, I finally made it. And then that's when you realize this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like, I say all that to say this, that when you play in a band, it's a delicate chemistry. And, like, if you, it's hard. You're married. When you're in a band, you're married to these other people, and you're with them probably 9 to 10 months out of the year in tight quarters on a bus. So it's like, it's inevitable. People are going to have disagreements and
oh my
like
goodness.
That.
Yep.
And over the course of a band, once money's being made, and it's funny how money just changes people.
Yes.
It's like, when a lot of, and all of a sudden we're not talking about little amounts of money. We're talking about millions of dollars.
Right.
Wow, it just changes people, man. You really see like people's true nature when all of a sudden you bring money into the picture.
It definitely is.
So it's like, that's kind of interesting, and that's just one little aspect of it, So it's like, when you're in a band, you're basically married.
Yep, and it's a family. It's a family that you get together and everything, and it is. And then you go on the road and you get into it with each other, and then the next tour you're over that fuss you had, or you forgot about what happened and everything. But unless, like you said, the money comes in a situation with some people and everything. But Shane, I love the explanations here, because a lot of listeners out there, they don't get the behind the scenes. They don't understand what's going on when supergroups come together. They think, okay, I love some of my favorite artists coming together. Why are they coming together? Maybe it's because of some of that past you guys went through. And I know you guys are working together to try to make this project a little bit different. What's the name of this project, and when are you guys going to be heading out on the road?
This project, it's called Mojo Moji.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah, which is just that Moji is another way of saying magic motion, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about magic emotion. It's about, music is a magic emotion. It's like music's magical in the way that, it can change your perspective instantly. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You could be having a crappy day, and then you hear a song on the radio, and it takes you back to another time or place, or maybe you hear something that reminds you of something else. I don't know what, but music has that ability. It's like your magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
Up on it.
There you go. Little Steppenwolf there for you. Well, Shane, it's always great, and I appreciate you taking the time this morning and everything, introducing the band and everything. Tell us how we can follow you, all that good stuff, and then we're going to end up playing a song that was sent to us.
Yeah, I think we're on all the major social platforms, Facebook. Yeah, I'm not sure if our website's up and running yet, but we're still relatively, but I do believe we're on Facebook, Mojo.
All right, definitely.
Yeah, and it's like it's early in the process.
Okay.
Sometimes, you got to get that first record under your belt.
Right.
Hey, well, let's make a Facebook page too. You get it. It's everything's in time. It's like good wine.
Right. Exactly. So before we introduce the song, you guys working in the studio. Did you work within L.A.? Did you work in Kansas City, where Great Barbecue is, or where'd you guys go?
Oh, I mean, we haven't really recorded anything yet.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's early on in the band process, but
okay.
If I had to choose, there's some great studios out there in L.A.
Okay.
I'd love to record at Dave Grohl's studio, maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And him being around too, that would be cool if you could see him.
Dave bought that. Yeah, he bought that board from Sunset Sound, and that's a legendary Neve console that a lot of great records were recorded on. So,
yes.
Yeah, if I could record anywhere in America, it would be at Grohl's studio.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Before we play the song, I do have to, as a drummer, get your thoughts on Taylor's passing from, of course, Foo Fighters. I know it was heartbreaking for most of us.
Oh, yes, it was terrible. I actually knew Taylor, from back in the touring days when Foo Fighters were out there touring and like the Souls out there touring, and sometimes we actually played in the same city, close to each other.
Right.
So it was cool to see those guys and get to meet them and stuff. And I actually first met Taylor when Taylor was playing with Alanis Morissette.
Wow.
Yep. We played it was us, Alanis Morissette, and Dave Matthews were playing something like a radio festival in New York. It was one of those shows.
Right.
Wow, there's a bunch of cool bands on this. So I watched Taylor play with Alanis, and I was like, who is this kid? This guy's crazy. And he was backstage, and we both were watching Carter from Dave Matthews play, and we both were just like, wow.
Man, yeah, man. Oh, I love it.
I don't know. Somebody told me that Carter had passed on. I'm not sure if that's true, but
yeah, I haven't heard anything. I'll have to check that out. Well,
as we're getting older, I hope it's not true, but
yeah,
crazy. As you get older, that's just part of life. People pass on. And,
yeah.
A lot of great musicians. That seems like a lot of great musicians have passed on in the last few years.
And we just had them in the last few weeks, man. So it's definitely so. Well, Shane, I appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, man. Good to have you.
Once again, tell everybody where to follow you guys, and we're gonna play the song that Lonnie sent us. So
yeah, look for Mojo Moji on Facebook, and be looking for hopefully we'll get a new record out there at some point. You can stream that thing.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Shane. Here it is.
All right.
crazy. She's just driving me crazy.